We are moving on to Game 7 of our King of the Hill tournament featuring On Deck Baseball Pro, the newest version of On Deck Baseball. If you missed the last game, we had a blowout by the 1955 Brooklyn Club against the 1984 Detroit Ball Club by a score of 13-0. Don Newcomb was phenomenal in that game. He came away with the victory. He went 8 innings, gave up only 4 hits, no runs, while striking out 7, faced 29 batters. That was the biggest run-producing game so far of the tournament, and Brooklyn is going to try to be the only second team to advance after their first victory. They will be taking on the Minnesota Ball Club, 1970 Minnesota team, an exceptional ball club. We'll go through their lineup real quick. Cesar Tovar leading off. He batted 300 in 1970. Then we have Leo Cardenas. Rod Carew. He didn't have a lot of at-bats that season. I'm assuming he was probably injured. He was still pretty young, but he batted 366. There is a DH in this tournament, so we are able to get him in the lineup. He will be followed up by Harmon Killebrew, Hall of Famer, and a player with a lot of power. 41 home runs in 1970, batted 271. Tony Oliva, another Hall of Famer, batted 325, 23 home runs in 1970. Brant Alyea, Wee Reese, George Mitterwald, and Danny Thompson will be batting 9th, playing second base for 1970 Minnesota. On the mound, we have Jim Perry for Minnesota. 3.04 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, struck out 168 batters in 1970 and had a record of 24-12, 13 complete games. On the hill for 1955 Brooklyn, we got Carl Erskine, a 3.79 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, had a record of 11-8. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Brooklyn to move on. They don't have quite the depth of pitching in the rotation. They were mostly an offensive ball club, so after Newcomb, the rotation gets a little bit above average, but not stellar. So we're going to go ahead and switch these pitchers up, and we're going to go ahead and play ball and start rolling this one out and see what happens. As usual, I do have my little grid at the top to make things easier. It allows me to keep the pitcher on its backside showing. And Cesar Tovar is going to lead things off for Minnesota. Of course, the team that advances is always the home team in the next game, and their bullpen, whatever players they used in the previous game, do incur some fatigue. Newcomb obviously is not going to pitch this game, but Roebuck has 1 fatigue point. The visiting ball club that's taken on the returning team comes in completely rested, so they have full use of their bullpen. So we're going to go ahead and get things going here. Tovar leading off against Carl Erskine. Excuse me. Righty versus righty here. It's going to be +1 on the roll. And the first pitch is going to be off the pitcher's card. A 5-1 is going to be a line out to third base. So Tovar is out on a line out to the third baseman. That's going to bring up Leo Cardenas. He is a righty as well. It's going to be a -1 this time on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 7-2 is going to be a pop out to the shortstop. Rod Carew coming up. He played very well into the 80s. Hall of Famer. I mean, there's not much more you can say. Rod Carew was one of the best batsmen in the late 70s, mid-70s till mid-80s. Excuse me. He is a lefty. It's going to be +1 on the roll. And that's going to be a pitcher's card as well. 3-2 is a strikeout. So Erskine shuts down Minnesota 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. Jim Perry going up against 1955 Brooklyn. Gilliam to lead things off here. Gilliam is a switch hitter, so he will be batting right-handed. It's going to be a -2 though on the roll. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card for Perry. 10-6, and we have our first hit of the ball game as Gilliam is on, reaching on a single. That's going to bring up Wee Reese. Reese in the first game did not have a hit but scored 2 runs. Reached on a fielder's choice and a walk. Reese is a right-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Reese. 4-1 is a strikeout, so Reese goes down with a K. Duke Snyder had himself a pretty good game. He went 1 for 4, 2 runs scored in the previous game. He is a lefty as well. It's going to be equal. That is going to be a batter's card for Snyder. 10-3 is a flyout, and that flyout's going to go to center. So 2 away now with a man on first, and Carl Furillo. Carl Furillo in the previous game went 5 for 5 with a double, 4 singles, 5 runs scored, and an RBI. So he had himself a fantastic game in the previous game. He is a right-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It's going to be equal on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And 4-2 is a strikeout, so that is Furillo's first out of the tournament. And we're going to go back over to Minnesota for the top half of the second. The killer, Harmon Killebrew, coming up. As I mentioned, 41 home runs in the 1970 season. Pretty good back of the card there, high on base percentage. Righty versus righty is going to be a roll uneven. It's going to be a batter's card for Killebrew. 9-5 is a base hit. Killebrew reaches on a single, and that is the first hit for Minnesota. Tony Oliva coming up, 23 home runs in 1970. It's going to be a left-handed batter. It's going to be +2 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Oliva. 8-2, though, is a ground out. Not very fast runner on first base. This looks to be a double play. It's going to go to second base. Gilliam handles the ball. He's a 2-fielder. But with Killebrew going to second, it probably still won't be a difficult turn. 8, Killebrew actually beats it out. We're going to see if they can get the out at first on Oliva. Shortstop is Reese. He is a 3. And an 8, they do get him, so it turns out it's just a 4-3 first out, and Killebrew moves over to second base. Brant Alyea, not quite sure how to say that name. He is up with 1 away. He is a right-handed batter. It's equal on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card. 9-9 is a home run. He had a pretty good season. Not a lot of at-bats. It drives his power up. And he hits a home run for the first runs of the game. A 2-run shot. Killebrew scoring as they both trot around the bases, putting Minnesota up 2-0. And we have 1 away. Here still in the top of the second, Wee Reese coming up. Left-handed batter. It's going to be equal. Pitcher's card. 5-1 is a ground out. Ground out goes to first base. George Mitterwald coming up. Strong, powerful catcher. 15 home runs in 1970. Right-handed batter, it's -1. It's going to go down to a pitcher's card. 9-4 is a walk. So Erskine in a little trouble here in the top of the second. Gave up the 2-run blast. Mitterwald gets a 2-out walk. And Danny Thompson will come up to the plate. Right-handed batter, it's going to be -1. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. 9-3 is a flyout. That will do it here. Flyout goes to left. So, after a 2-run shot, Minnesota finds themselves up 2-0, going into the bottom half of the second inning. And Roy Campanella coming to the plate. Campanella had a pretty good game, previous game as well. He had a 3-run home run, an RBI single, giving him 4 RBIs on the game, scored 3 runs. Righty versus lefty here. And he is going to be a -1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Campy. 10-1 is a walk. I saw that die roll. I thought I had a home run on my hands, but he's going to take first base on a no-out walk to lead off the inning. Gil Hodges, he had a pretty good game too. A home run, a double. He had 5 RBIs in the game with a run scored. And Hodges will step up here against Perry. Right-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-3 is a flyout, and that flyout goes to left. Jackie Robinson now stepping up to the plate. Robinson, he drove in the first run of that previous game. He had 2 RBIs in that game. Righty versus lefty, it's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 6-5 is a ground out, and that ground out is going to go to short. Shortstop is Cardenas. It's a 4 over on Campanella. He needs an 8 to make it there. He does not. There's a 6-4, and the second baseman, Thompson, is a 3 going for the double play. And they turn it. A 6-4-3 double play will end the bottom of the second. No runs for Brooklyn. Erskine still on the mound, going back to the top of the order here in the top of the third. Tovar will be leading off. +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 3-2 is a strikeout. Cardenas now 0 for 1, popped out the short in his first at bat. -1 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-9 is a possible home run. A -4 though. That's going to be difficult for Cardenas. Not a lot of power. Had 11 home runs, but he's only a 2 power. So it's going to be a -2 on a roll. 6 and up is a home run. That's only going to be a flyout as we roll a 4, and a flyout is going to go to left. So Erskine lucky that one stays in the ballpark, as Rod Carew will now come up with 2 away. Left-handed batter, it's going to be a +1 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Carew. 8-2 is a flyout. And now we'll end the inning as he flies out to center. He is now 0 for 2 in the game. And heading over to 55, Brooklyn. The Zim coming up, Don Zimmer. As mentioned in the previous game that he had a little bit of pop. He was not a starter in 1955, but home runs. It gives him a pretty nice looking back of the card there. He is going to be a righty. It's going to be -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-5 is a flyout to right field to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. Sandy Amoros coming up. He was 0 for 4 in the previous game. So he's looking for his first hit of the tournament. Left-handed batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 9-4 is a possible passed ball, but with nobody on base, we're going to re-roll on the same matrix. 7-6 is a ground out. Ground out goes to short, 6-3. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order here for 55 Brooklyn. Jim Gilliam, who reached on a single, his first at bat. Switch hitter, it's going to be batting righty. It's going to be -2 on the roll. That is a pitcher's card. And it looks like Perry sets him down in order as we ground out here to end the inning back to the pitcher. So Perry takes it himself, whips it over to first base, where Reese will collect it. And now the killer back up for his second at bat. He had the first hit for Minnesota in the second inning. Right-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card though. 8-7, a base hit. Killebrew 2 for 2 now, 2 singles. I'll see if he could score his second run of the game. Tony Oliva coming up. He grounded out to second base in the second inning. Left-handed batter, he's going to be a +2 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Oliva. 7-2 is a ground out. Another possible double play here. That ground ball is going to go to first base. Hodges going to pick it up, shoot it over to Reese. Hodges is a 3. And he gets him this time as a 3-6. Reese being a 4 on Oliva. And they turn a double play. 3-6, we'll say second baseman was covered. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. And Alyea coming up. He hit that 2-run home run in the top of the second to put Minnesota ahead. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be batter's card. 9-4 is a walk. So he walks. And the second base runner of the inning is on, though he's the only one right now as they turn to double play to eliminate Killebrew. Reese now up, left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be batter's card for Rich Reese. 7-3 is a flyout, and that flyout's going to go to right. That will do it for Minnesota in the fourth. And we're going to go over to the bottom of the fourth now. Wee Reese coming up for 55. Brooklyn, he's 0 for 1 in the game with a strikeout in the first inning. Reese is a righty, so it will be equal roll. That's going to be batter's card for Reese. 8-3 is a flyout to center. Bringing up Duke Snider, 0 for 1 in the game, flew out to center. Left-handed batter against a lefty pitcher is going to be equal. That's going to be a batter's card. 10-5 is a base hit. So we have a man on with one away, and Carl Furillo coming up. Right-handed batter, it's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card though. 9-6, red 9, blue 6 is a walk. So we have men on first and second, one away, as the dangerous Roy Campanella coming up. Campy hit 32 home runs in 1955, batted .318. Men on first and second, right-handed batter against a lefty pitcher. It's going to be a -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Campy. Can he do some damage? Put Brooklyn ahead here. 7-9. That's going to be a base hit. Snyder is a 4-speed. We're going to see where that goes. That ball goes to center field. Center fielder is Tavar with a forearm. I think Snyder's going to come around to score as it's 50-50, and we are going to hold the runners there as Campanella comes through with an RBI single and get Brooklyn within 1 run as Minnesota leads 2-1 after that first run scored by Brooklyn. That's going to bring up Gil Hodges. He is a righty batter. It's going to be equal on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Hodges. 3-2 though is a strikeout for the second out of the inning. Jackie Robinson coming up, men on first and second. Righty batter, it's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 4-3 is a strikeout. That's going to end the inning. But Brooklyn does get on the board with 1 run, as the score is now Minnesota 2, Brooklyn 1. Erskine, he's able to go 5 innings before we start rolling on his fatigue. And George Mitterwald is going to be the batter. Mitterwald is a righty against a righty pitcher. It's going to be -1. It's going to be a batter's card for Mitterwald. 10-6 is a base hit. Mitterwald reaches for the second time. He drew a walk in the second inning. Danny Thompson now coming to the plate. Thompson 0 for 1, flew out to left. It's going to be -1 on the roll. It's a batter's card for Thompson. 8-4 is a ground out. Possible double play here. Ground out goes to short. Reese is a 4. Mitterwald not very quick. Needs a 6 to reach there. He does not get it. That is a 6-4. Second baseman is Gilliam, who's a 2 on Thompson. It's going to be hard turning this double play. 4, they do not get it, so Thompson reaches on a fielder's choice, 6-4, and we have 1 away with 1 man on, and the top of the order coming up for Minnesota. Tovar coming up. He is 0 for 2 so far, looking for his first base hit of the tournament. He is a +1 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card. 6-5 is a ground out. Another possible double play here. A ground ball goes to first, and Hodges again is a 3. Go over to Thompson. 20% chance that Thompson beats this out at second. Does not. It's another 3-6. Shortstop is Reese, a 4. Tavar trying to beat out the double play here, and he does not. A 3-6-4 double play will end the inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th now. Perry's still on the mound. He's a 5 as well, so we don't need to roll on his fatigue. Don Zimmer will lead things off. Zimmer 0 for 1 so far. He has no hits in the previous game, so he's looking for his first hit of the tournament as well. And it is a -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 7-8 is a walk, so he does get on base with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th. Sandy Amoros coming up. Amoros still hitless in the tournament as well. It is a -2 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Amoros. 6-3 is a ground out, and it could be a double play here. Ground out to second base. Thompson is a 3. He's going to be getting Zimmer out, so that is a 4-6. And now we'll look for the turn. The shortstop Cardenas is a 4. Amoros only a 40% chance of beating this one out. 5, but he does, so he reaches on a fielder's choice as he gets to first base before the out. That's going to bring up the top of the order now. Jim Gilliam with a man on and 1 out. Switch hitter, it's going to be -2 on a roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-9 is a double for Gilliam. Amoros round second, goes to third. He is going to stay there though, as we have a double. Puts men at second and third with only 1 out. And a very good part of the order coming up here for 55 Brooklyn. Reese is a righty. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 8-8 is a base hit. Amoros comes around to score. Gilliam heads over to third. We're going to see where this goes and see if he gets the green light to advance. It's a center fielder. Center fielder's arm is a 4. It's a pretty good arm. Gilliam is 50-50. I think we're going to send him, and you know what? I think Minnesota's going to go after him, trying to preserve at least a tie here. So we're going to be rolling on the 4 arm here, risking home. We get a 9, and he scores the go-ahead run. Reese will take second on the throw with a 2 RBI single. And Brooklyn has taken the lead against 1970 Minnesota. That is 3 runs scored off of Perry. Now we're going to have to roll on his poise chart here on the sad face. We roll an 8. There is no change. So that's good at least for Minnesota. And now with a man on second, Duke Snyder comes up. He's 1 for 2 with a single so far. Lefty versus lefty. That's an equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 4-1 is a line out to the second baseman. Now with the line out to second base and a man on second, there's a chance that this is a double up. Second baseman is Thompson. He is a 3 fielder. The man on second base is Reese, who is a 4 on base instinct. So it's a +1 on the roll. 6 and above, and he gets back to second safely, and he does. No runner doubled up. Carl Ferrillo coming up now with a man on second and 2 away. Right-hand batter, it's going to be equal roll. That is a batter's card for Ferrillo. Can he do more damage like he did in the previous game? 9-3, it does not look that way. That is a ground ball to end the inning. And that ground ball goes to short, 6-3. And we're going to go back over here now. Erskine has the lead going into the 6th, but we do need to roll on his fatigue chart, as this is his first inning past his max 5. Roll 1 die, we roll a 9. That is a -2. That is going to bring him down to a 1-1 on his overall ability against batters on the confrontation roll. That could get dangerous. Tovar will be leading things off. He is now a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 10-1 is a flyout to lead off the inning, and that flyout will go to left. Sorry, that should have been Cardenas. And that's going to bring up Rod Carew with 1 away. Carew 0 for 2. And he is now going to be a +4 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Carew. 8-1 is a flyout. Flyout to center field, 2 away. Killer coming up, Killebrew. Now with an advantage on the confrontation roll, a +2 advantage. He gets a batter's card. 5-3 is a flyout to center field. Now we'll do it. So even with the -2 on his pitching ability, Erskine able to set them down in order. And Perry will now have to roll on his fatigue as well, as he's going into his first inning passed. Pretty good column there though. 6 is no change. So no change for Perry going here into the bottom of the 6th. Campanella will be leading things off here. He is a -1 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 6-1 is a ground out. Second base, 4-3. Gil Hodges now stepping up. He is 0 for 2. And it is going to be an equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 8-7. He gets his first base hit of the game here. Reaches on a single. Jackie Robinson now coming up. He's 0 for 2 in the game. It's righty versus lefty. It's going to be an equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Robinson. 2-2 though is a strikeout. He struck out 2 times so far in the game, and he did not strike out often in 1955, as he only has 5 on his card. So 2 away now, and Don Zimmer coming up. Right-handed batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Zim. 4-1 is a strikeout. That'll do it for 55 Brooklyn. We're going to be going into the 7th now. And with that -2 that Erskine incurred in the previous inning, we're going to have to remove him from the game and bring in a new pitcher. Let's see who we have. We have a young Sandy Koufax, Clem Labine, or a Carl Spooner. Roebuck obviously pitched last game, and he is out for this. I could bring him in, but he'd come in come in with a 1 fatigue point. So we are going to go with, looks like Clem Labine is going to get the call here. Actually, we got left-handed batters coming up, so it looks like Carl Spooner is actually going to be getting the call. We'll go ahead and write him in. Make up a new chart here, as he is a lefty and a 3-3. You can go 3 innings. Alright, so leading things off will be Tony Oliva, a left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card on Spooner. 9-5 is a base hit. So Oliva leads off the 7th here with a base hit. And can Minnesota recover the lead? Alyea coming up. Right-handed batter is going to be equal. That's going to be a batter's card. 10-4 is a walk. And now we have men on first and second, and nobody out. Wee Reese coming up. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Reese. 8-6, red 8, blue 6 is a base hit. That's going to load him up. And George Mitterwald will be coming up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Right-handed batter, it's going to be a -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Mitterwald. 9-5 is a walk. Spooner walks in the tying run. Maybe we should have gone with Labine here, as all runners will advance, and there's still no outs, and Danny Thompson up. Thompson, a right-handed batter. It's going to be -2. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 9-5 is a flyout. That flyout is going to go to center. Snyder out there with the cannon. He's got a 4-arm. Do we want to try and risk scoring here? Probably not. 40% chance. Doesn't look like that's enough. And we're going to go ahead and give him a flyout to center. Bringing up Tovar up. 1 away, and bases are still juiced. Tovar is a righty. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 1-1 is a strikeout. Can Spooner get away with only allowing 1 run here in the top of the 7th? Cardenas up. He is 0 for 3. He is due. It's an equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 6-5 is a ground out, and Spooner able to get out of the inning without any further damage, as that ground out will go to third base. So now with the score tied, Jim Perry is still on the mound for the Twins. We're going to go ahead and roll on his chart. We're going on a second column past here, and no change. So Perry able to stay in the game here. Amoros will be leading things off in the bottom of the 7th for Brooklyn. Lefty versus lefty, it's a -2. That's going to be batter's card for Amoros. 6-6 is a base hit. Amoros leads off the inning with a base hit. Mitterwald has a forearm behind the plate, so I don't think we'll be stealing trying to get into scoring position just yet, as we have the top of the order coming up with Jim Gilliam. Switch hitter, it's going to be batting right-handed. It's going to be -2. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 9-3 is a ground out. Could we turn a double play here to eliminate the threat? Ground ball goes over to second base. Thompson is a 3. Going to roll one here. 30% chance Amoros can beat it out. He does not. It is a 4-6. And the shortstop is a 4 on Gilliam. A 5. They turn to double play. 4-6-3. 2 away now here in the bottom of the 7th with Wee Reese now coming up. Right-handed batter. It's going to be equal on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 6-1 is a possible error. We roll again on the same matrix. A 10-8. Red 10, blue 8 is a base hit. We're going to see where that base hit goes and see if it's an additional base due to the error. The error goes to right field, which is Oliva. I'm going to roll on his primary position chart here. There's only one spot where there is no error. That's the 8. He does not get it, and it's a 2-base error. That could come up huge, as now Reese, after a base hit, finds himself standing on third with 2 away on an error caused by Oliva out in right. And that's going to bring up Duke Snider. Can he take advantage here of the error and put Brooklyn ahead? He is going to be equal on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Snider. 6-4, it doesn't happen, as Snider will fly out to end the threat. Flies out to center. So we go here into the top of the 8th, and we are tied up at 3 apiece. Spooner can go 3 innings before we have to roll, so he is still on the mound for Brooklyn. And Carew will be leading things off. He is a lefty versus lefty. It is a +2. That's going to be a batter's card for Carew. 9-3 is a flyout to right field. Harmon, Killebrew coming up. It's going to be an equal roll. Batter's card for Killer. 6-4 is a walk. So Killebrew on base for the 3rd time in the game as he reaches on a walk. And Tony Oliva coming up. He is a lefty, so it's lefty versus lefty. It's going to be equal. That is going to be a batter's card for Oliva. 6-1 is a flyout to center field. 2 away now. Brant Alyea coming up. Righty versus lefty here. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 10-7. Red 10, blue 7 is a base hit. There were 2 away, so that means Killebrew is going to find himself on third. And Wee Reese is going to come up with first and third, 2 away. Can he put Minnesota back on top? It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 8-6. We have a base hit. Minnesota is going to find themselves back on top as Killebrew will come around to score. Alyea will end up at third as he was running on contact, and an RBI single by Reese will put Minnesota ahead. 2 away now, man on first and third with George Mitterwald coming up. A -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 9-6 is a flyout to end the inning, and the flyout will go to left. So 1 run on 2 hits and a walk puts Minnesota ahead here going into the bottom of the 8th. And we're going to have to roll once again on Perry. Going to be rolling on this 3rd inning here. We have the 4, 5, and 6 batters coming up. I got pretty good confidence in Perry, so we're going to go ahead and roll the die, and we get a no change. Perry stays on the mound as he is their best option to get these batters out. Carl Furillo now coming up. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. The right-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 9-5 is a flyout to right field. That's going to bring up Roy Campanella now. Campanella is 1 for 2 with a walk. He had an RBI single in the 4th. He is a right-handed batter. It's -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-3 is a ground out to third base. Gil Hodge is now coming up as Brooklyn is running out of outs here. Hodge is 1 for 3 in the game. Right-handed batter. It's going to be +1. That's going to go up to a batter's card. 10-4 is a base hit. So Hodge's reaches keeping the inning alive with Jackie Robinson coming up. Robinson 0 for 3 so far. He's a left-handed batter. It's going to be equal. Or sorry, right-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It's equal on a roll. That is a pitcher's card. 6-1 is a ground out to third base. 5-3 will end the threat as we go now into the top of the 9th. Spooner remaining in the game, trying to keep Minnesota from scoring any more runs. Thompson will head up the first at bat of the inning, and his righty versus lefty. It is a -2 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card. 7-5 is a flyout to left field. That's going to bring us to the top of the order now. Tovar, he is 0 for 4 in the game with 2 strikeouts. He is a right-handed batter. It's going to be equal on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Tovar. 5-4 is a ground out though. That ground out will go to second base as we have 2 away now here in the top of the 9th inning. Cardenas coming up, 0 for 4 in the game. Left-handed pitcher against a right-handed batter is going to be a equal roll. That is a batter's card. 6-4 is a ground out, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th with Brooklyn down by 1 as a ground out to short will end the top of the 9th. Perry still on the mound. Zimmer is going to be leading things off. We are now going off the 4th column to see if we want to try and go for a complete game. And I think we are. I'm going to roll 1 die here. We got a 2 is a -1. That is not a bad roll, as he is now just a 3-3 against left-handed and right-handed batters, which is not terrible, especially considering the part of the lineup that's coming up. So Zimmer will come up to lead off the bottom of the 9th as Brooklyn is down to their last 3 outs. Zimmer, right-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It is an equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card on Perry. 7-1 is a flyout for the first out of the inning to left. And now Amoros coming up. He is a left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It's a -1. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. 10-2 is a flyout. 2 away now, as Brooklyn is down to its last out, and Jim Gilliam is looking to extend the inning. Switch hitter. He is going to be a -1 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card. 9-5 is a walk. Gilliam draws a 2-out walk to extend the inning. And Wee Reese now representing the winning run, if he were to hit a home run. Right-handed batter. It's going to be a +1 on the roll. That is a pitcher's card. A 7-1 is a flyout, and that flyout is going to end the game as Reese flies out to center. Brooklyn eliminated from the tournament scoring only 3 runs in this one. Minnesota takes the victory 4-3 as Jim Perry pitches a complete game, and the run support came from Brant Alyea, hitting a 2-run shot in the second inning. Killebrew scored 2 runs as he goes 2 for 3 with a walk, and Oliva scored a run going 1 for 4. Wee Reese with an RBI single as well. But I think we need to give the player of the game to the starting pitcher, Jim Perry, as he gets the complete game victory. We're going to go ahead and do our stats here. Let's see how good of a line Perry actually had. He gets the win, pitches 9 innings, giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 base hits, 3 runs. All of those are earned, while walking 4 and striking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters, facing 38, and no home runs allowed. On the Brooklyn side, Spooner is going to get the loss. Erskine gets a no decision. Erskine, the starter, went 6 innings, and he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of those earned, while walking 1, 2 batters and striking out 1, 2 batters as well. 9-18, facing 22 batters, giving up 1 home run. Spooner did not give up a home run. He went 3 innings, and he allowed 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walking 3, striking out 1, and he faced 16 batters. So that will do it here. We're going to go ahead and cross off the fatigue for the Brooklyn team as they are eliminated. We'll put a little line here as Jim Perry will go into the book as the only pitcher needing rest for Minnesota. That is a huge victory within a victory for them, as they will have a fully rested bullpen for the next game, and he will go in as a 5-day rest needed. So that will do it here as 1955 Brooklyn falls to 1970 Minnesota. Minnesota will move on to the next game of this King of the Hill tournament. Not sure who they will be facing. Hoping we get another stellar team from throughout MLB's history as we continue this King of the Hill tournament using On Deck Baseball Pro, the newest version of On Deck Baseball. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did. That was a very fun game. I love seeing Jim Perry throw a complete game. That's always exciting. So, as always, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the game, and we will see you next time here in our King of the Hill tournament.